Hello everyone, it's Daryl, and this video will show you how to diagnose and replace the battery on the Dyson V6. This one in particular happens to be a dc58. All of them are the same though, the battery powered handheld Dysons. They most all use the same battery. You pull the trigger, you get a flashing red light. That means your battery has died and failed. So what we're going to have to do is replace it. The standard Dyson battery is let's get it up close here, 21.6 volt, 16 ampere hours, which is 2100 milliamps of capacity. Called Dyson. Well, actually I went on their website first, couldn't find any parts at all for it, so called customer service. They told me that this model is too old, they don't keep parts for this listed on a website. I'm like, well, that's very disappointing because I've only had it for about 5 years. And they're like, no, we still have parts, we just don't list them on the website. That's great, I need a battery. And the lady says, well, that would be $96 plus tax and shipping. I'm like, wow. I'm not a replacement kind of person, I'm a repair kind of person. I believe in fixing things. So what I did is I went on Amazon. I found a huge assortment of different batteries for it, many of them listed as upgrades. So we clicked on one of them that looked like a good deal. 3 days later, it arrived in the mail, and here it is, $36. Well, this one's rated at, let's see if we can get it there, 5,000 milliamps. So theoretically, this is two and a third times more powerful than the original one, which I don't know if that'll translate to 2 1/3 more running time. But I was always a little disappointed in the running time on this, even if it was new. If you're just using it to lightly dust up and clean things on the standard setting, it was fine. But if you took it outside to like vacuum your car out with it and you used the max setting, it seems like it only lasted for maybe like 6 to 10 minutes at the most. But I'm going to be kind of interested to see how well it does with this new battery. And it looks kind of intimidating here to see how it's put together and how you're going to change this battery out. But the truth is, it's really a lot easier than it looks. Once you start taking things apart, you'll see. The first step is to remove the dustbin. And if everything's clean and not too tightly packed, and it's really not that hard. It's the same as opening the dustbin to drain it. Just hold that all the way down, and then the dustbin will swing forward and drop right off. It may be sticky, it may be a little bit difficult, it might not fall off on its own quite like that, but just wiggle it back and forth while pulling it toward the front and it'll drop right down. I say we'll show you, I've already loosened it, but see, you just pull it out this way and then drop the dustbin off. While you have it apart, this is a good opportunity to give it a thorough cleaning inside. You can see the little screen here in the dustbin has some dirt that's picked up. I would get a soft brush, like a toothbrush or a fabric brush of some sort, or a little paintbrush, and I would carefully clean all the dirt out of that screen mechanism. And while you're at it, clean any dirt buildup around the O-ring seal on the top of the dustbin. Make sure you have a nice tight fit when you put it back together. You could even apply a thin film of vegetable oil or any kind of light oil-based or Vaseline material to that rubber O-ring to rejuvenate the seal of it. We're going to flip it up on end like this, and we're going to look right there between the battery and the housing. There's a Phillips screw. Let's see if we can get better. There we go. We're going to remove the screw that holds the battery in, and then remove the screw that's in the back of the handle just above the charging port. Once those two are removed, the battery slides out very easily. See, we already removed the terminal safety cover on a new one. That's to prevent the battery from shorting out and causing a fire during transportation and shipping. Line it up and just carefully work it into place until it clips all the way down. It doesn't actually clip, it slides all the way in tight. And then we're going to replace the screw that goes through the handle and the screw through the front. I followed the advice and I cleaned the screen out here really good. The only trick to this is the same way you took it apart. You're going to tilt it this way so that the front edge of it clips onto that little tab before you pivot the back end up into place. The battery's now back in place, like that. And they say the battery only comes partially charged from the factory, so we're going to go ahead and put it on the charger now and let it get a good charging, and then we'll see how it goes after that.